Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to your first weekly general of 2024. Can you believe it? So I just want to say to all of the new subscribers, thank you so much for joining the Reydiant Nation. It means the absolute world. For all of you continued subbies, you know Rafi loves you and you know you've got my heart. So these are general energies, trends and themes for the week ahead. So what we're looking at here are the overarching energies. So the way that this reading actually came about is we were noticing that there were in the weekly readings and the monthly readings, there were patterns and trends that kind of kept coming up, that sort of showed up for everybody. So this session, or should I say the weekly general, was actually co-created with all of you, and I am super grateful that you guys love it so much. So all of this is obviously infused with my intuitive message. So every week I go into my intuition and I will ask for a message that we need to know, and it kind of feeds into the weekly general reading. Some people have called it Rafi's sermon. I don't know whether I'll call it that, but if you like it and it works for you, we'll keep it. With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So we are going to start with so my intuitive message this week was stop patching it up and just replace it. All right, so this could be an item, it could be an object, it could be obviously I know it's January and a lot of people are strapped for cash, etc., but whatever it is in your life that you have been patching up, whatever you've been putting a plaster on, whatever it is that you have been kind of doing the bare minimum with just to keep it going, it's time to allow this thing to come to its final rest moment so that you can move beyond this and effectively replace it, right? So this could be a friendship, this could be a relationship, this could be an object or an item, this could be a bag, right? It could be a pair of shoes, right? Are you gluing the sole on just because you love the shoes? It's time to let it go, right? Whatever it is. And this came about because, so sometimes when I go into my intuition, it'll be like a mini movie that plays out in my head. Sometimes it will be a symbol or a feeling or a color, and I interpret that into words. And I usually hear like a really clear sort of phrase or a set of words, and it was stop patching it up and just replace it. So whatever it is this week that you know needs to be replaced, this is the time to do it. All right, so in terms of the key to the week and its overarching energy for us, this is from the Human Design Oracle deck by the wonderful Denise Matthew. We will have a look, see. So for this, you have or should I say we have the Gate 44 and Scenting. Do you know what's really interesting about this card? This is an instinct card, right? So this is the Gate 44 and Scenting. It's an instinct card, and it's also a money card, right? And so the question being, when we're thinking about money and we're talking about like replacing things versus patching them up, it's like if you and I get it, not everybody can just go out and replace a car tomorrow, right? But if you've spent more on the car fixing it and having to constantly get it looked at and all the rest of it than the car is worth, that's a false economy, right? So where in some area of our lives this week we are really being shown, and not just from a financial perspective, but from your instincts. So I will say this week, right, and when we say there's nothing keener than the sense of a dog's nose, right, even proven that they can smell cancer on their owners. There's been lots of cases of that, and you can you look it up. It's really interesting. Now the thing that I will say is when it comes to your instincts this week, you may have an instinct or an inkling. There might be an intuition of some sort that kind of says to you, yeah, probably shouldn't go down this route anymore, right? So whatever it is that's coming to its natural end, its natural close, its natural completion, it's time for you to accept and acknowledge and just say, okay, you know what, it's time to let this thing go, whatever it might be. All right, so it's not always easy, right? I'm not sitting here saying, just get rid of everything in your life, and it won't be everything. It will be one specific thing that you've put way too much time, effort and energy into, and now the universe is telling you, stop patching it up, stop, you know, just let it go. Right now, in terms of your destiny cards, we've got the 10 of Swords. That's an ending, a completion, or a culmination, but sometimes it can be a hard end as well. You've got this with the 5 of Cups, okay, and you've got this with the 7 of Wands. Look, right, the message behind this triplet is if you fight for it, the 7 of Wands, it'll lead to some form of sorrow and potentially a bust up. Now, I will say, for those of you that are watching this, and let's say you're thinking of a relationship or a friendship or a connection of some sort, and you're thinking, yeah, you know what, I think that's coming to an end. Wouldn't it be better to make a conscious decision that rather than allow an unconscious situation or energy to bubble up where you literally just end up, because the 10 of Swords can be a real, like, that can be a real bust up. It can be a really heavy argument, and usually it's like a deal breaker. It's one that ends something, you know, completely, like there's no turning back from what people say during it. And with the 7 of Wands, that's a battle, right? And what it leads to really is the 5 of Cups. You know, a feeling of loss, a feeling of grieving. And when we end friendships or relationships, or we leave a job, right? For some of you, this could be about a job. Now, I'm not advocating leaving one job before you have another to go to, but this could be indicating that for some of you, there is a professional situation, a familial tie. There's some kind of energy in your world that this week you are going to be shown in a really stark way. This is the end. There's no going back from here. And if you try to patch it up, it's only going to cost you more in the long run, whatever that might be. Now, on the wider world stage, I do wonder if whatever peace is forged, you can take this for any situation that's going on in the world at the moment, any peace that is forged is almost very, and I hope this isn't the case, right, but is almost very quickly sort of thrown into some sort of chaos. This is more challenge that will come up. What I do feel, though, is that the seed of the destruction or the end of these hard situations in the world will be sown in what we probably see come forward this week, meaning it might be so horrific and so horrendous that everybody collectively stands up to say, no, this ends now. All right, so in terms of the direction energy, how we best use these or navigate this, right, we've got the Emperor. So really, by getting a hold of yourself, right, and remembering that you are in control and in charge of your own life. This with the Knight of Cups, so there could be some support that comes in, particularly from a very powerful man or male figure in your life. And this with the 5 of Swords, right? So this is knowing what to fight, when to fight, and when to walk away. That 5 of Swords with the Knight of Cups, you may have an opportunity to leave something behind this week in a way that is actually, you know, very, very, not easy per se, but in a way that allows us to... what's the word that I'm looking for? Yeah, like in a way that allows you to kind of say, okay, you know what, I've got the opportunity to decide whether I want to dig in on this or whether I want to walk away. If the opportunity is presented to you, you can avoid the challenge or the issue or the conflict, but it really does require you to get a hold of yourself and the entire situation. I think more than anything else, this is a week to be really honest with yourself about what is and isn't working, about what connections are or are not enriching, nourishing for your life, etc. This could even be as well, like maybe you made some kind of decision previously or in the previous weeks, or even as a you know, an intention of some sort, and then this week you kind of realize, actually, that doesn't work for me, right? It's not going to work, or I want to keep the path that I'm on, or the promise that I made to myself, or whatever the case might be. All right, so self-honesty really is your key through all of this week, and paying attention to your instincts. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. I also forgot to mention the tarot course. Enrollment for my tarot course is open on the 18th of January, right the way through to the 31st of January. So if you want to get your spot on that, remember there's only 20 spaces. And also the clearing cohort, there are only 8 spaces for that. And you can get that on the link in the description box below. Look out for all of the goodies that are coming with that on my socials and also here on the channel. With that said, take care, and I'll see you soon.